What's up, people? What are we doing? Waiting for thrill rides. Do we not have the souvenir stall? Nope. We're getting Warbelly though. Alright. Well, I guess I'll build a rapids here because why not? It's the best water ride in the game. Wow, there's no additional designs to this. I can do better than that. Most of my rapid designs are pretty good actually. It's a pretty easy ride to design. Okay, I'll put it there. I don't think you need to make it that long to be honest. I think it only puts like 12 boats in. Oh, just go to the end anyways. Hold on. This is a pretty basic design to be honest. Oh well. At least I have every type of little mini special thing. Hold on, I can go underneath that. Alright, there we go. Test it, it won't crash, but test it anyway. there's not really a whole lot to do now in this level. I just put a couple of fountains here. I don't know why. There's not really much point. Alright, gaming news, is there any? Let's see. Not really. Well, with E3 around the corner, not really anyway. But Sony has actually come out and said that the first party lineup this year is sparse. Which is pretty much what I've said in a previous video. I pretty much talk about this, but you know, there's always the same people constantly denying it. You know, Sony's just basically really laid back this gen, but we kind of expected this, to be honest. I mean, when the PS4 was selling as crazily as it was right out the gate, you know, it's pretty obvious that Sony's not going to do much for it. I mean, with the PS3, it was a completely different situation. They had to release a ton of first-party games because third-party wasn't cutting it, so that's why we had so many great games on the PS3, but with PS4 they don't really need to do that. So, you know, at the end of the day, the worse a console does in sales, the better gaming output it's probably going to get, because they're trying the best to actually, you know, get sales. So that's that. That's pretty much why I haven't bought a PS4 yet, and kind of glad I did as well. I see a lot of people kind of disappointed in the fact that they picked up the PS4 so early. That's why I never got to get a console at launch, to be honest, because I'm going to lower this because it's not very popular still. Yeah, I never get a console at launch, really. The closest I've got a console at launch is probably, I don't know, the PS3, I guess. But I got it like a year later. I got it. The reason I got the PS3 as early as 1 year in is because they started phasing out the 60GB, so I kind of like wanted that backwards compatibility. And that's way before they had PS2 classics on PSN and all that, so I kind of wanted that, so but I got a decent deal on it, but still, that's like the only console that I've got close to launch, I guess. It was like a whole year later though, so not really. Yeah, I don't really trust launch systems anyway. They're always, you know, I don't see the point. Just wait a year and you'll have like way more games to play. Just wait as long as you can, basically, because the price will come down, the games will be there, the system will have improved through patches, so there's really no reason to get a well, yeah, even a PS4, but any system that early. Unless, of course, it has something like Final Fantasy VII Remake on it, then alright, fair enough, but unless they have the best game ever made on the system, there's no point. And remasters don't count. So pretty much the PS4 this year, its biggest game is probably God of War 3 Remaster, which is pretty pathetic, to be honest. You know, the people expecting Sony to pull stuff out the bag at E3, I think you're just going to be very disappointed, because there's no way in hell they're going to announce a AAA game at E3 and release it within 6 months of announcing it. That's not how the games industry works anymore. They've got to build hype, and especially if it's going to be a big AAA game. So yeah, Sony's first party's just completely pathetic right now. I mean, they've closed down so many studios recently anyway. What the hell was that? I didn't even... They've closed so many studios down and restructured everything. I think, to be honest, most of the people who knew what they were doing have either been promoted or have left the company. I mean, you know, I think we just kind of need Phil Harrison back, to be honest. That would be pretty sweet, actually. But at least Phil Harrison actually did some pretty damn good stuff for PlayStation when he was at the company, though. say what you will about the PS3 and whatnot, but he did really do a lot of stuff for PlayStation during the PS1 and PS2 years. You can't deny it. And in my honest opinion, the best first party output was on the PS1 and 2 anyway. I think anyone would agree with that. You know, we had quality and quantity, and we also had something called variety as well. Variety. You don't really get variety nowadays. You get linear action games that don't really cost a lot of money to make, don't really take so long to make, but people buy them, so it's easy money really if you think about it. It makes business sense to make something that takes next to no time to make. You get it out and you make money off it straight away, rather than spending 5, 6, 7 years making an RPG like Bethesda does. I mean, Bethesda's probably a poor example, but still. At least there's companies still making RPGs, thankfully. You know, when RPGs die out, that's probably when I'm done with gaming, or done with keeping up with gaming anyway. You know, I'll still probably play games like years and years and years from now, but it'll just be older stuff like this. It won't be new stuff, because I'm pretty much RPGs are pretty much the best genre in my opinion, but I think in general they're just the best genre, to be honest. It's like the only genre that you actually get your money's worth out of a game. You pick up a game, you pick up like any RPG and you'll get like 50 plus hours out of it easily. Unless of course you don't like the story or the gameplay. And then you just quit. Anyway, back to this. Right, so we've got War Belly now. I need to make some space, or find some space. So I want to build. There's nothing really going on over here. I think I'll build it here somewhere. Try and find some flat ground, which I don't think I will be able to. Well, I've got the water, so I'll just put it there. Thank God you can build on water. What's this now? It's broken down. I'm hiring one more because honestly you shouldn't really need all of these handyman mechanics. I've hired 2 more. I'll stop complaining. Alright. I always just go ahead and just use this pre-made one from now on, because whenever I make one, hold on, let's just see how far it goes. Whenever I make one of these, you've got to do the testing and whatnot and how much the launch is going to be, but this is pre-built, so you don't need to worry about that. Plus you don't want to make it as tall as possible anyway, because people are too scared to go on it, or it makes them ill. So I'll have some benches in to prepare them for it. I don't know if people actually get off this ride and feel sick. I think they do, but sometimes they won't go on it because they'll say just looking at it makes me feel sick or something, so they won't go on it. You might have some people saying that anyway. Looks too intense for me to see. It looks too intense, and this is the smallest version of it. I could make it a little bit smaller, but it's already pretty small. So, yeah. I don't think I'll bother building any roller coasters. I think we've got enough. Don't want to build too many roller coasters, and then they start crashing and your park rating starts crashing as well. Speaking of which, let's get that window open. 999, perfect. It's constantly raining on this level as well, so of course people won't go on rides as much, and I won't make as much money, and the park rating will probably go down, as it has slightly. It doesn't matter anyway, we don't need any more money, and to be honest, we've pretty much got this level in the bag. This game is extremely easy. If you're looking for an easy business sim, this is your game. To be honest, this is a good game though. I mean, if you just want to make roller coasters and stuff like that, it's, you know, it's good for that. When I finally unlock Mega Park, which is basically the sandbox park, aka build whatever the hell you want park, when I finally unlock that, I'll try and upload my save. I keep saying this, but I don't exactly know where the save is held because there's two save files. It's not this one. There's another save file that tracks your progress. That's the save file I need to export, but I need to find it wherever it is. Thankfully, we're nearly done with this game. Wow, we made it, almost. Be pretty annoying if we get to the last level and I can't freaking do it. It's like 5 years long as well, so it's like super long level and ridiculously hard. I don't think so though. You know, if it's like you've got 5 years to get 5,000 guests and you need, say, 900 rating, then that's more difficult. See, all these levels have you need like 600 park rating in all the levels. If they'd up that to like 800 or something, it would make it a little bit more challenging, but they don't. They just stick it at 600 on every level. And you know, even though we're like 3 levels from the end, it's still only 600 that you need. I don't know. I think they just should have maybe made it a little bit more difficult. You know, 800 park rating would have been challenging. You know, make I don't know, make like an easy mode and a normal mode, and have normal mode 800 park rating. See, for example, this level should say, instead of like that, it should say like, I don't know, 1500 guests, 800 park rating. That would be more challenging. Still easy though. You know, don't make it like 999 park rating, because then you would just be safe stating it right at the end of the level, and then it's basically just a chance thing because you just got luck. You just need luck to get 999. There was one level and I held the 999 rating for like 5 months straight. I don't remember what level it was, so don't ask. So yeah, we're just pretty much just waiting it out now. We've got like a whole year though. But that's pretty much what you do in the final year. You just wait around because there's nothing else to do. We've got like the same ride music on like 3 different rides right here. I think the Ferris wheel and the... I don't know, I can hear it from like 3 different rides, but I'm sure the Swinging Ships rock music, so I don't know. Anyway, where can we put this? Yeah, I'll put it here because there's no rides at all here. It's very sparse. Move these trees out the way. Damn it. Hell, at least I'm not having any more problems with my mouse anyway. Damn it. Super annoying when it kept like disconnecting itself. I don't know what went on there. It's not the mouse that's the problem now, it's this game. I can't freaking launch it normally. I need to launch like 2 instances of this game before it actually runs, and then just end the other one in Task Manager. I have no idea why. I was waiting until the Stodgems was unpopular to shorten the queue a bit, but obviously people just don't mind. It goes down quite quick anyway. That totally doesn't need the chain there. It would have easily got up that without the chain. He's found it. Or he's about to find it because he's right there. Boom! Everybody crashes at the end. The red guy will have to do an extra lap over everybody else. Don't ask me why. You know, you would think he was going to win the race, but unfortunately for some reason the person in pole position has to do an extra lap. I don't know, maybe that's how go-karts work, I don't know. I wouldn't think so, but maybe it's just a glitch in this game. See, everyone is going to finish now, like that, but he has to do another lap, even though he's pretty much first. So he's pretty much won the race, but I don't know, maybe as a prize he gets to go around again, I don't know. Guests are commenting your park entrance is too cheap. You know, we're getting near the end of the level when we're about to put it up to $50. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of hyped for E3. I mean, who isn't? But really, I don't really know what would get me excited at this point, to be honest. I mean, Sony's just kind of, I don't know. They're not as good as they used to be, I don't think. It's in terms of like first-party games. But I mean, I think Microsoft will probably come out on top this year. See, Microsoft's in the second place position in terms of sales, so they kind of need to do stuff, which I think is the problem with Sony, because they're doing so well. You know, with the PS3 they actually had to try and do something to get sales, but the tables are pretty much turned now, so they're kind of, Microsoft's pretty much taken their place in terms of like trying as hard as possible to get games out and get people buying the system. I mean, hasn't the Xbox One had like 3 price drops right now? 2 or 3 price drops. You know, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we don't really care what the system sells, it's just what the games are like and how much the system costs. So, you know, at the end of the day, the customer reaps the rewards, gets the benefits. But, you know, Sony's just sitting on its ass doing nothing in terms of first-party games, and it's, I don't know, the sales, it's still selling really well though, so I don't really get it, to be honest. I think, you know, people do buy systems nowadays for the third-party games, you know, Call of Duty and stuff like that, but when you're not into those type of games, or you've got a gaming PC, then it doesn't really count for anything, does it? You know, the people are like, oh, well, you know, The Witcher 3 just came out. Yeah, it's on PC though, so what else has the system got? Thankfully in Sony's, for Sony, not many people are into PC gaming, but if there were, it would be a completely different story. They really would have to get off their asses and do something. So, yeah. But yeah, I think Microsoft probably come out on top. They've got, I don't really know what they've got, what the rumours are regarding their games, but I kind of expect them to come out and probably have like a bunch of exclusive games for next year and this year maybe. But in terms of Sony, I mean, we're pretty much just looking forward to the games that should have come out this year, next year now. So it's just, it kind of makes no sense really. It's just kind of weird how all of their big AAA games for this year have all slipped into next year. I mean, really, can't they like do something, I don't know, make better deadlines or something? I think Shu Yoshida needs to get his shit together. Bring back Phil. Hey, I need to lower this now because nobody's... Oh no, there is people still going on it. That's probably the longest this ride has ever lasted without me giving it a price drop. Can't find the park exit because you should have bought a map. It would be pretty funny if they bought a map as they were going out of the park. They don't do that though. I think when they decide to go home, they do nothing else but walk to the park exit, so they won't go on any rides, they won't buy anything from the stores or anything, so that's not gonna happen. Dum dum. I think the biggest mistake Sony's made is closing down Studio Liverpool though. Seriously, Wipeout on the PS4 would have been so, you know, even as a long time. I mean, hell, the PS3 had Wipeout HD pretty much soon after launch. And that game was great. Imagine what it would have looked like on PS4. I mean, they actually got Wipeout HD on the PS3 running at 1080p 60 frames per second to my knowledge. Not many other games achieved that. So, you know, imagine what they could have done on the PS4. Hell, who knows, they could have got 4K 60 frames per second. I doubt it though, but still, I wouldn't say it was impossible, not from those guys. Some damn good talent at that studio. I think that would have been one of the studios I would have held on to if I had to close down some studios. It would not have been Studio Liverpool. Definitely not. Studio Liverpool would have been one of the ones I would have kept around. Constant rain. Yeah, going into the final year now. Popcorn. By the way, I had a quick look at the expansion pack on this game. I don't know what's or everything that's in the expansion pack from what I've seen. I did one of the tests. Okay, start again. Right. I went on one of the levels in one of these videos. At the end, when I finished a level, I went onto one of the expansion pack levels in this game to see how long the levels were on average, and it seems to me they're all 3 years, like this main game, so it's going to take forever. Anyways, the expansion packs also have extra rides, not just roller coasters, but like extra like gentle rides and whatnot. So actually, because I remember there being some sort of like prize thing for this, for the go-karts. If you come first, you can like set up some sort of prize. So I guess it was in the expansion pack that I played that. But yeah, I don't know everything that's in the expansion packs, but there does seem to be quite a few additional rides and whatnot. So when I eventually get around to playing the expansion packs of this game, it won't just be the same rides you're seeing here. There is actually new stuff. There's a hot dog stall as well. You know, it's pretty much exactly the same gameplay wise, but the fact that they added more stuff. But you know, obviously it's an expansion pack, so of course they add more stuff. But I just find it weird how the expansion pack has more levels than the main game itself. The main game, which we're still doing right now, only has 21 levels. Whereas the expansion packs have like 30 levels each, to my knowledge. 30, so I think there's like 81 total levels, which is a bit ridiculous, to be honest. And I don't know what you unlock at the end of doing all 81 levels. I don't think you unlock anything, I'm not sure, but you get the mega pack at the end of doing this main game. So I don't think you'll unlock anything unless you unlock the additional rides and whatnot in the mega park. I have no idea. I would expect you just to get all the rides right from the get-go. You shouldn't even have to do the research thing in the mega park level. We'll find out when we get there because we're nearly done now. I've only got this level to do and then 2 more, which are hopefully not too long. But at least I finished the game. nearly finished. Unless of course the last level goes on for like 4 years. And by that time I might be like, oh, I don't know. The thought of playing through all those levels on the expansion packs though, I think that's way too many levels, to be honest. I think even if they only had like 10 on each expansion pack, that would have been enough. That would probably been too many. You know, one level on this game takes like 3.5 hours to finish. So basically, I did this before on one of the other levels. I've kind of worked it out. Each level, on average, the average level in this game goes on for 3 years, which is 2 parts on my YouTube page. So I've done, let's see, we're on level what? Oh, let's just say we're on level 20. So basically double that. That's how many parts, how many videos of this game I've uploaded to YouTube so far. So that's like 40 videos. So now let's work out how long I've been playing this game. So 3.5 hours times by 20 is about 65 hours, I think. Is that right? Hold on, let me try again. 3.5, right, so basically 3 times 20 is 60. No, 75, isn't it? 75 hours. Oh my god. That is a long time. But hey, it's a decent game. Let's put it this way, I'd rather play this game than a lot of the new AAA stuff coming out. You know, the same, something like freaking Call of Duty, the same game over and over again. Sorry Call of Duty fans, but yeah, I don't do shooters, especially new shooters. And if you haven't already, go ahead and check out my Half-Life playthrough, because that's pretty good. Half-Life is the best first-person shooter game ever made, in my opinion. Even over Half-Life 2. I like Half-Life 2, but I just don't think it's as good as the first Half-Life. I think it's just, I think that's mainly nostalgia talking though. But yeah, Half-Life 1, freaking awesome. Definitely one of the best shooters of all time, easily in the top 10. Especially if you played it back in 1998 when it was like revolutionary and whatnot. There wasn't really any other shooters like it. I mean, you had like I think the only other shooter, you had like Quake and stuff, but that wasn't really like Half-Life. And then you had Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I think that was 98 as well. I think that was like the closest to it. Return to Castle Wolfenstein. But Half-Life was just like so. It was kind of like completely different, you know. It was just like the whole it was just fluid, and the gameplay was just like really well done. It wasn't just like running around, busting through doors, shooting people and stuff. It was like actually there was other stuff to do. And it was like totally impossible to do on console as well. You know, you had like Alien Trilogy on the PS1, and it was just like everyone just completely forgot about that after Half-Life. And then of course Unreal Tournament 99. Good thing all these games were all ported to the PS2 though. I don't know what it was, but back in like when the PS2 first launched, I think it was because the PS2 had USB ports on it, and it had the ability to play to use mouse and keyboard controls. You could plug in a mouse and a keyboard into the PS2 and play Half-Life on the PS2. It's compatible with mouse and keyboard, the Half-Life PS2 port, and I think the Deus Ex port to the PS2 also is mouse and keyboard compatible. And of course, Unreal Tournament 99 was also ported to the PS2. Quake 3D, or is it just called Quake 3? I think it was called Quake 3 actually. Quake 3 Arena or something. I don't know, I never had that game, but yeah, that was there was like a big massive like sudden surge of interest in porting PC shooters to the PS2 when it released, and it was like, I don't know what the deal was with that, but it was pretty cool though. And then when the Xbox and the GameCube came out, the fad pretty much ended, so all those games pretty much stayed on the PS2. So like, you know, Half-Life 1, and I think Deus Ex, and I think Unreal Tournament 99, they all stayed on the PS2 because by the time the other consoles came out, like a year later, the developers were busy making stuff for other things, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what the deal was with that, but yeah, if you've got a PS2 and you don't really particularly like PC gaming, you pick up the PS2 version of Half-Life because it's a really good port. The only downside to it is that the load time's a little bit long. You know, on the PC version, well, depending on your PC of course, the average load time in Half-Life 1 is about 2 seconds, whereas on the PS2 it's like 5, 6, 7 seconds long. It's not really a big deal, to be honest. And if you've never played the PC version, then it's not going to bother you. It's definitely worth playing it though. I think Unreal Tournament 99 was also on the Dreamcast, I'm not sure. I know Half-Life 1 was supposed to be ported to the Dreamcast, but I think it was cancelled. I think they actually finished making the Dreamcast version, it just never got released. So I don't really... I think they should have just gone ahead and released it, to be honest, if they'd have finished it and stuff. Would have been a really good game to have on the Dreamcast. But yeah, I think it was finished on the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast version was completely completed. I think there was like a bug though with the saves. There's like a weird save bug where... Hold on, let me see if I can get this underneath this. Yes. Damn. Yeah, on the... Damn. The Dreamcast version has some sort of save bug where the save continuously gets bigger or something. That's what I've read anyway. I cannot confirm. But other than that, I think it's exactly the same as the PS2 version, I think. It just never officially got released. Which is kind of a shame, really. Like I say, it would have been a pretty damn awesome Dreamcast title if it had been released. I think it was also supposed to have Blue Shift on the disc as well. That might be why Blue Shift was so short, because it was originally supposed to be a Dreamcast like add-on. It was supposed to be like on the Dreamcast version of Half-Life on the same disc. It was like a mini expansion or whatever, and then they just like scrapped the Dreamcast version and moved Blue Shift to the PC. But for some weird reason they didn't move Blue Shift to the PS2 version, which is kind of odd. That's the only downside with the PS2 version. It doesn't include Opposing Force or Blue Shift, but it does include the HD pack, so that everything, all the textures and whatnot look better. And the sounds of some of the guns are better as well. It does have its own... It has DK though. There's something called Half-Life DK on it, but it's basically an expansion pack, but it's multiplayer only. But yeah, definitely worth playing though. You can also get a Return to Castle Wolfenstein on the PS2. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was also ported, but it was on the Xbox as well. They called it Operation Resurrection or something like that. But when I got it, I played it and I was like, this isn't Wolfenstein, Return to Castle Wolfenstein, because in the PC version, if I remember correctly, you start off in Castle Wolfenstein. You've got to escape, and then I think you're like going through the town and whatnot, and then you end up in the... I've never finished it, by the way. I might play it. You end up in the town, and then you go through like the catacombs, and you know, of course, the zombies come out and whatnot. And then that's how the PC version is. But on the PS2 version, you start off in Egypt, I think, and you're going through Egypt. Is it Egypt? I think it is Egypt. And of course, like, it's under Nazi control. And you're basically going through like Egyptian ruins and stuff, and there's Nazis and stuff, and it's kind of like completely different. I think that's like an extra chapter they added though, but it's really long. Like, there's like, I don't know, 5 or 6 levels to this like Egyptian part. But I've never actually gotten past the Egyptian chapter because I kind of always end up getting bored. Whereas the PC version, it just gets you straight into Castle Wolfenstein, then you get out and then you go through the towns. I think the PS2, I think the console version is the same. It's just that there's an extra chapter at the beginning, and it's, in my opinion, an unnecessary chapter, to be honest. I think they should have just left it as it was. I mean, sometimes, you know, people are like, well, more levels is better, right? Well, I don't know, I mean, there might be decent levels. I just kind of always lose interest in it halfway through. I don't really like the controls on the console version though. I don't know, it just feels kind of off on the PS2 to me. I mean, when I play it on the when I go ahead and play it on here, which I will at some point, I suppose, now that I've said it. Now that I've brought it up, I will just go ahead and plug in my DualShock 3 and play it with that, but it'll probably feel okay. But with the PS2 version, just the controls just feel a bit too stiff or whatever. I mean, you're trying to aim at an enemy and you're moving the right stick, and I think I don't know if it's like too sensitive or whatnot, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me. It might feel exactly the same when I'm playing it on the PC with the DualShock. I don't know, it might just be one of those games that just really does feel better with keyboard and mouse. I mean, I played through Half-Life 1 with the DualShock and it was okay, but that was Half-Life, you know, it was fine with that, but the Wolfenstein might feel completely different. It might just feel just totally wrong playing it like that. Some people swear by playing shooters with keyboard and mouse, but I just never can do it. Even though I grew up playing PC games with keyboard and mouse. I mean, I played, like I say, I played Return to Castle Wolfenstein when I was like, I don't know, 12 or whatever. And back then I probably just used the keyboard and mouse, and I got quite far. I'll tell you where I got, well, I'll try and remember. I can't really remember that well, you see, it was a long time ago. I don't even know, I might not have even been 12, I might have been 10 or something, but you know, I grew up playing games like that, to be honest. And I remember getting through the catacombs, and I think you end up in like some sort of church or something. And then you get out of the church, yeah, I think you must go through the catacombs, then you end up coming up through the church, Undercroft or whatever like that, something like that. Sounds like Oblivion, to be honest. And I think you come out of the church and then you're in like a massive like airfield or whatever, and that's as far as I got, because I was just used to get missiled or whatever, unless I'm completely misremembering the game. But I'm pretty sure you get like, you're in like a field or whatever, and you've got to like make your way to the town or whatever, but the aeroplanes or whatever are like constantly missiling you down while you're in the field, and that's as far as I got. Or some sort of like, no, I think you get into the town. You've got to get into the town, but undetected, I think. And if you get detected, like a big massive alarm goes off, and then it's game over. I think that's how it is, anyways. Like I said, it's a long time ago, but that's as far as I ever got. But I was only a kid, so come on. Having said that, I played, I finished Half-Life as a kid. Those are the types of games that I played as a kid. You know, I wasn't playing, stuff like Spyro or Crash. Well, I was, but, you know. I just played a lot of random stuff, to be honest. I never really stuck with one or two different types of genres or whatever. I always just used to play whatever was hot at the time. Like this game, I played this game. Yeah, I have a lot of PC games that I've played, and a lot of PC games that I've played and never finished. This is one of them, if I remember correctly. I mean, I didn't get stuck on that part in Wolfenstein. It was just, I just lost interest. You know, I always do. That's the problem with having so many games. You kind of like just lose interest and then just move on to something else. Doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's just, you know, there's stuff to play, and if you get stuck on like one little particular part, I mean, I'm sure it's like an easy part to get through, but I just didn't have the patience to do it at the time. Good game though, seriously. I prefer Wolfenstein to Call of Duty easily. You know, I mean, people always like hype up RollerCoaster Tycoon. People always like say like Call of Duty 1 and Call of Duty 2 are like were like amazing games back when they came out. But personally, I just never really, I didn't even like them anyway. I mean, the first one was okay. I mean, I haven't played the second one, by the way. Apparently the second one's even better than the first one. But I played the first one, and it's a good war simulator. It's definitely more realistic than the Wolfenstein series. The Wolfenstein series is pretty much just like World War II, but an unrealistic, like, extreme take on it. Whereas Call of Duty was like more of a realistic World War II game. You know, you were running through the fields and getting shot at and stuff, and you didn't feel like you were invincible. You just felt like a regular soldier. Like if you get shot a bunch of times, like there's like a part in the first one where you're like a Russian guy. You're on the Russian side, and you're like, you know how they just like charged at the Germans and got shot to hell. But you couldn't turn around and run back because you get shot. That's basically how it was, but that's how the game is. They've pretty much just like replicated it, so it is pretty good in that sense. But personally, you know, I just didn't really ever like it, to be honest. I much prefer the Wolfenstein games. You know, I mean, you feel like a superhuman and stuff like Half-Life and Wolfenstein and Quake and stuff like that, because, you know, to make it a little bit easier for the player, I guess. But at the same time, I just think that those games are better. You know, just because the game isn't realistic doesn't mean it's that's a bad thing. I mean, hell, you know, the Grand Theft Auto games were never really realistic to begin with, but that didn't really mean they weren't fun. I think developers nowadays are just like trying so hard to make games realistic, and it's like, you don't need to do that to make a fun game. They need to just like stop taking things so seriously. Seriously. Serious business. Oh man, we've got like a whole 4, 5, 6 months left of this. At least the park rating, we don't have to worry about the park rating. See, that's how the park rating was on one of the previous levels I did, but I think it went like all the way along. I might be able to do it on this one actually if it stays like that. See, it hasn't even dipped at all. And then you learn all the music off by heart. Seriously, if you don't know the theme to the merry-go-round when you start this game, you'll surely know it by the time you're finished. Look at all these people, they're going to be waiting forever for this monorail. Ah, here it is. Yeah, if the first person doesn't complain about waiting forever, then you should never really have a complaint about it, unless of course the ride breaks down. So yeah, I should be able to get most of this queue into this, because each car holds 40 people. I don't know how that works, but yeah, apparently it holds up to 40 people. Wait a minute, what am I talking about? No, it doesn't. 5 or 10 passengers, never mind. Still gets most of the queue down though. He's happy. Yeah, the monorail has some kind of weird, I don't know if it's a glitch or what, but when they're sat down on the monorail, even if it breaks down and they're just sat there in the station, the happiness level goes up even though they just sat there not moving. I don't know why that is. I think it's the only ride that does that though. It's not really a ride, it's a transportation system, but still. People treat it as a ride. See, instead of like, there's no like AI to it at all. They'll all get off at the stop. So even if they got on it there, and they said, oh well, I want to make my way from this station to this station here, because I want to go on this roller coaster. They'll, instead of like sitting on it and waiting until it gets there, they'll all get off at this stop. So transportation system in this game kind of really doesn't make any sense. I'll add some more shops and stalls. I think we were getting complaints actually that people were hungry, so I'll add some here. It's not really a good idea to put food and drink right near a roller coaster exit though, because people coming out of the ride feeling sick are gonna want to sit down somewhere, and if people are sat around eating, there's nowhere for them to sit. Popcorn. Right. Shouldn't really be any complaints now in terms of food and drink. Tower 1 has broken down. Oh shit, I haven't checked this for a while. You might actually have to... yeah, damn it. I should have checked that earlier. I hope I wasn't paying $400 a month for no research at all. I wouldn't put it past the game to actually do that. What don't we have? I think we've built all of these, haven't we? Except this. I'll go ahead and build that. I'll put it here because there's nothing else going on here. Right near the edge of the park. Actually, close it. I'll put it on intense mode. Or berserk mode. $1, blah blah blah. think people feel sick coming off this as well, so I'll put benches. Alright. No one's going to go on it now anyway because it's raining, so that was good. That was good timing. Force 9 has broken down. I'll hire another one of these. I don't really see the point in it though. Actually, I'll make him a Roman and put him over by our little Roman section. I don't really see the point in this though. Oh shit, I've closed him now. There you go, you can... Ha! That was good. He turned around. So if I put it there... Oh well, whatever. Yeah, you can patrol this area. Kind of pointless really. I don't think they make any difference to people's mood anyway. What's with all these people getting lost all of a sudden? It always pops up when they're like about to find the park exit. Do 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 do. Played this a long time. It'll feel so weird playing something with a controller after this. Yeah, if anyone has any like suggestions of games to play, I mean, I'm open to suggestions. But, you know, so long as my laptop can actually handle playing the game. Basically, anything up to the year 2000 on PC is fine. And anything up to PS1 in terms of emulators, or PS1/N64. And I should have no issue pretty much playing anything in that department. But you know, any type of game really, just don't expect me to be good at it. I kind of suck at games that I have never played before. I kind of need to spend some time with a game in order to get decent at it. Tell you what game I am good at though, and I actually do brag about this a little bit, and that is the Tony Hawk series. I am really good at those games. I grew up playing those games. The only thing that's kind of stopping me playing them is I kind of want to do a marathon on them, but you know, all of them. So, well, not every single one, but something like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 up until like Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. You know, I would do it like a marathon. You know, like all the Neversoft ones basically. But it's just whether my laptop can handle those later ones. You know, I should have no issue playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 to 4 on the PS1, but the later ones, I don't know. Thankfully they're on the PC though, so I can go ahead and at least test them, but I don't think it'll hold up frame rate wise.
I don't know.
We'll see. See, I kind of want to do them all at once, but at the same time, it'll probably end up like this game, and I'll probably get bored. After I do like the first 2 games, I'll probably be pretty sick of it, so I don't know, I might just go ahead and do like the first 2 then, at some point. But yeah, I'm really good at those games though. Like, I remember one time I was like challenged to the, you know, the multiplayer mode of horse, who can get the highest score, and I just like completely destroyed my friend at that game, because yeah, you can't beat me at it. I'm sure someone somewhere in the world is better than me at it though, you know. They're probably about like 10 times better than I am, but I think the highest combo I've ever had, like this will probably be on Thug 2 though. It's probably, I think I've got like 3 million points in one combo before. No joke. The earlier ones are actually harder. The Pro Skater series are harder to keep a combo going in the earlier one. I think Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 is where they brought the revert thing in, because as soon as you go up a ramp, if you go up like a half pipe or a quarter pipe or whatever, you can't continue the combo as you land. Whereas in Pro Skater 4 they introduced something called the revert or something, so when you land back into the half pipe, you do this revert thing, and then you go into a manual, and that's how you continue the combo. But in the first 3 games they didn't do that, so if you go up a vert in the first 3 games, you're pretty much gonna lose your combo. I think it was Pro Skater 4 that introduced that anyway. It might have been Thug 1. I'm pretty sure it was 4 though. Thug 1 brought loads of new stuff. Thug 1 is actually my favourite game in the series. It brought a lot of stuff, a lot of gimmicky stuff though. It brought, like, you could drive cars and stuff, but it felt like really crap. But you could get off your board. That wasn't really a big deal to me either, but it was a decent little addition anyways. But it actually had a story to it, and the story was pretty decent in my opinion. And then you could unlock older levels. You could unlock Skull 2 from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. That was probably one of my favourite moments in that game, when it came up saying you've unlocked Skull 2, and then I played Skull 2 in Thug 1, and it looked so much better. And then you can play it again in Tony Hawk's HD, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD, but the game's okay. I don't know. It's just something kind of off with it. I think it's overall it's decent though. I got it in a sale. I think I got it for like $5 in a sale off PSN, so I wasn't really too bothered about it. And I got I got a few hours of gameplay out of it though, so it was probably worth it. But I think the magic of Neversoft is pretty much done. I think people have stopped going on this as well. Is it because it's raining though? Put it down to $2 anyway. So yeah, I mean, there's a new one coming out this year as well, and it's by the same people who made the HD version. I don't expect much from it, personally. It might be okay, but I think the series has just had its day, to be honest. They need to bring back Neversoft. That's pretty much it. Neversoft was one of those developers that just made whatever they made was a good game. Simple as that. Until Activision started milking whatever they made. I think they made Guitar Hero as well, and then of course that got milked, like the Tony Hawk series. They also made a game called Gun, which is I think it's a western, but I've never played that. Apparently it's amazing though. I'll save it here because it's July. I always make a point of no return save in this game. In every level. Do. We don't have any Western themed rides in this level. This game drives you nuts. Whoosh. Move all these trees out of the way. I can't see a damn thing. Careful not to erase the queue line. People will drown otherwise. Especially if they stood in it, obviously. That's the only bad thing about building rides above water. Whoops. See? Damn. I don't want to close the damn thing. No one's gone on that. No one ever does go on this, to be honest. How much money has it made? Oh, it's actually broken even, and it's actually made a bit of a profit as well. Most of the time it doesn't do that. Well done. Profit. This game was really popular apparently. Not surprised. This game was really good back in the day though. I mean, it's a bit dated now, but still. I don't think there's like any other game that's actually like come close to making a theme park simulator like this. This game is still like the best in its category. Oh shit. Thought the game had frozen then. Don't freeze now, man. I did just save it though, so, you know, pretty much safe. Whoa. Ah! Nice. Thoughts. I'm not paying that much, blah 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 blah. Good. Shorten this queue a little bit. Damn it, the Romans in the damn queue? I'll put it there because that's long enough. There we go. Oh yeah, I need to cheapen it. 50 cents. I need to rebuild my fence now because it's been a waste. Fences. There's. There we go. Done. Seems to me no one wants to pay that price either. Is anyone going in it at all? Oh, some cheapskates in this game. They want everything free. Too bad. Everything's 10 cents or more. Except the toilet. And yes, you can charge people to go to the toilet. I don't do that normally though. Damn. What's going on with all these rides? Guest 3550 should have bought a map then, shouldn't he? That's not my problem. I don't know why it tells you the temperature. Does that matter at all? I don't know. Maybe it affects the energy level of people, but I don't even know what that means, to be honest. What does energy affect? Sometimes people come into the park and they're really tired, but they're still going on rides and stuff. I don't really know what that does, to be honest. I couldn't tell you. I'm sure it affects something. They wouldn't have just put it in the game randomly. He's about to find the parking. Hey, yeah. Let's see if there's any red-faced people. The most pissed off mood possible. There's a few sick people, but no red-faced people. Yeah. I must just be like really good at this game because no one's gotten to that pissed off mood yet. Like at all in this entire playthrough of this game, I haven't had a single person red-faced. The only way you could do that is just grab somebody and put them in a pit and leave them there. I might do that on one of the later levels. I would do it on this one, but I don't want to lose it. I don't think I'd lose, to be honest. I'm gonna find someone and put them in a pit. Yeah, let's do it. You wanna pick up somebody that's already pissed though? See, most of these people are happy. Wait until somebody says I can't find the park exit and then I'll pick them up. I'll prepare a pit right now actually. Pits are easy, you just go ahead and do this. There you go. They'll never get out of that. I'll put them in there. Pop. Hopefully it doesn't plummet my park rating though. Right, so next time it comes up saying park, you can't find the park exit, I'll pick him up and put him in there. I might not get it. I might not get it now though. See, he's tired. I don't get it. You could put the handyman in the pit, but you kind of want to pay him to do his job, not pay him to walk around in a pit. I'm not sure, but I think I've just had a thought though. You could actually. I think the only reason for the tiredness is the speed at which they walk. Other than that, I don't think it affects anything. I could be wrong. Yeah, they just walk slower when they're tired, so I don't know. Who cares? Come on, I want some angry guy. Someone to put in the pit. I've got an idea. Find a ride that has a big massive queue and then someone is hopefully like angry about it. Alright, you'll have to do. The queue just moved up a bit. Right, let's put him in the pit. See if I can get him red-faced. That's torture, that is, though. I kind of feel bad. I will feel bad if this goes down. Look at that, pretty much perfect over the last few months, but still. Yeah, he should get pissed soon. You could put him in the water, but that'll kill him. And that really will have an effect on the park rating if he does actually drown and die. If I don't get him out in time. I'll just leave him down there and see what happens. Hopefully he'll go red-faced. And it won't affect park rating. If I lose the level because of doing this, that's going to be so annoying. I did save it in July though, so no biggie. It's not like I need to replay it from year 2 or whatever. He's not even getting any more pissed off anyways. Sometimes if you, I don't know, I think sometimes if you give them like a bad name, I don't see how they know it's a bad name though. I don't know if it has any effect. I don't think so. It's barely going down though. I'll build a little path for him. Yeah, that's taken forever for it to drop actually. I don't think he'll get red-faced in time anyways. I think his move's actually going up. Oh, forget it. Let's just take him out there and put him in something else. He'll probably get happy now. Hold on. Let me see if I can like try and get him onto this ride. He might like it. Unless he wants to go home. I'm lost. Go on this ride. You'll like it. Okay, now he's getting pissed. If you keep picking him up and putting him in different places. I have the strangest feeling somebody keeps picking me up and putting me in a different place. Dum 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 dum. Do 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 do. Oh god, he's getting really angry. Yeah, this is the best way to piss somebody off, is just to keep picking them up and putting them in places. He's like, where the hell am I now? Ah! Red face. I might totally have not even remembered the whole thing. I'm pretty sure the face does go bright red though when they're extremely angry. I have the stranger feeling somebody's watching me. Yeah, this is the same person who keeps picking you up and putting them in a different place. There you go. Back in the pit with you. I want to go home. Yeah, you go. You are back home in your pit. He is in his pit. Okay, I'm just kidding. I'll put you back where I'll put you in near the park exit. Just kidding. Back in the pit. This is like really cool. As soon as your face goes bright red, I'll let you go. But yeah, you've got to go bright red first. This is more entertaining than the actual game. Do 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 do. I need to be careful because the pick-up option might disappear. I think that only happens when they're actually on a ride or when they're outside the park. You can't pick them up anymore. So you need to be careful. Help, I'm drowning! I need to be careful doing that because your park rating really will drop then. I don't think I can get it that low, to be honest. I think he's just gonna... I'll just put him back in the pit and he might eventually get pissed off. Just very closed out. Yeah, I feel sorry for him though. He's come in the park wanting a good time and he's like getting abused. I'll pick him up a few more times. The animation when they're trying to swim, that's just like really kind of funny. Too bad you can't place them on the rapids. Help, I'm drowning! Ah! Smacked in the head by a rapid boat. Oh, whoa! Okay, he just dropped into the pit by himself. I've never seen that before. I didn't know that they could just like drop down one level by themselves. I learned something new about this game. Oh man, that's not going down at all. I'll just leave him to it and see what happens. He might turn red. Swan pedal boats at this point. You normally start off with the swan pedal boats. These ones are better anyways, they're faster. Canoes. Water tricycles are slow as hell. And weird. I want to go on something more thrilling. Come on man, get pissed off and then I'll let you out the park. I can't find the park exit. See, you should have bought a map. I think the reason I haven't got any people that pissed off in my park is because you need to really try and actually piss people off. As you can see with this guy, I'm constantly picking him up and dropping him in different places and it's barely affecting him. Put him back in his pit. Or put yourself back in your pit. Pissed off is lost and can't find that. Pissed off. Oh, that's funny. Ah, that's good. There you go. You can't find the park exit in there, no you can't. Pissed off is lost and can't find the park exit. That's a good one, that is. What the heck? His happiness is going up now. Oh shit, yeah, I know why. Because there's scenery. I shouldn't have done that. If I remove all these trees from his view. Damn it. Yeah, I made a mistake there. Shouldn't have done that. He's like, oh shit. No, you can't see any sunlight. Right. Let's cover him in. Now I can't save him. I can really, I just click this, but I don't know. That might help get his mood down though. He's gonna starve to death. I don't think people actually die of hunger though, in this game. We'll find out though, because that's going really high. Pissed off, is lost and can't find the path exit. That's good. I wonder if he's pissed off. Hey, that's a thought actually. I don't. Do you think he claps you when you've finished the level? I'm gonna make him stick around, and I'll put him on the top when it's nearly time to finish the level, and see if he actually claps. He might be too angry though to congratulate me. Do-do-do. 14th. This month's really gonna drag now, isn't it? Oh man, this guy is not getting angry at all. It would be good if it came up saying pissed off is pissed off. It won't though. I don't even know what the age rating of this game even is. I think it's I don't know. See, over here in Europe we had a different age rating system back in the 90s, early noughties. We had this rating called ELSPA, I think, ELSPA. They were our old game rating board, and pretty much it was actually the best rating board we actually had, because what they did was, instead of putting the age rating on the front, they put it on the back of every game. The age rating was actually only on the back, which is how it should have been in the how it should still be, but obviously nowadays games getting more and more violent, and they felt the need to put the age rating on the front. But still, back then, I have plenty of old games that I can show you this rating, because I have it's pretty much every PS1 game, to be honest. But even PC games had them, but they had different age ratings. See, nowadays we've got what's it? 3 plus, 7 plus, 12 plus, 16 plus, and 18 plus. But back then, it was a different kind of rating. There was 4 different ratings, and it was 3 to 10, 11 to 14, 15 to 17, and then 18 plus, I think. He's getting happy again, forget this. Just put him on the top, see if he applauds me anyways, even though I've been a bit of an asshole to him. But yeah, so basically we've had like quite a few different age rating boards over here in the UK. But the ELSPA was the best one for sure, because they only put the age rating on the back, which is how it should totally be, because then you're not, when you bought a game, the cover wasn't ruined by a freaking huge ass 18 plus. The 18 plus games nowadays, you buy an 18 plus game. I actually didn't know this, but I think it was Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U. I think Bayonetta 2 is rated 16 plus, but if you buy the box set with Bayonetta 1 in it, the Bayonetta 1 is an 18. So if you buy the Bayonetta 1 and 2 pack, it's got the 18 plus cover on the front, but it's the 18 plus on it is huge. Like I'm not kidding. It actually takes up like nearly a quarter of the cover. It's that big. The 18 plus on it. It's ridiculous. I kind of hope they release both the first one separately on the Wii U, to be honest, because I don't really want that double pack. Simply because of the 18 plus on it, it totally ruins the cover. Like it looks really stupid. I'm not joking. I'm not joking, and I'm not exaggerating. It looks dumb as hell. I mean, seriously, how big do they want to make these age ratings on the covers? This guy's not gonna get pissed, is he? We're nearly done, anyways. 2 days left. Yeah, he might still applaud me though. I can't find the park exit. So yep, just 2 levels left to do now, and then we are done. For now anyways, until I do the expansion packs. If I ever get around to doing them. If I ever can be bothered to do them. I don't know why his mood like keeps going up and down. He must just like the view or something. He's applauding me, even though he's pissed off. I want to go home, but congratulations anyways. Alright dude, I'll let you go home. Whee! You can have the best ride of the park because you suffered. There you go. Adios. Right, let's save. New game. Next level, stay tuned for it. It is called Rainbow Valley. See you then.